In today's video, I want to take a look at the Redmi Note 14 Pro 5G and put it up against the Redmi Note 14 5G. Is one truly worth it over the other? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. Kicking things off with the camera, both phones do share a similarity. You do have the same 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens as well as the same megapixel lens for macro. The main camera and the selfie cameras though are different. If you're looking for the phone that, gives you the best looking photos out of these two, then I really recommend the Note 14 Pro 5G with its 200 megapixel main camera. It will definitely provide that over the 50 megapixel camera on the standard Note 14, especially when it comes to dynamic range. With the ultra-wide lens, you can expect a very similar result since the cameras are identical, so there should be no differences here. Considering the price point between these two phones, I wouldn't be really disappointed with using either of these two. However, with the Note 14 Pro 5G, you do have some extra features like motion tracking, which the standard 14 does not have. For videos, the standard 14 only maxes out at 1080p 30, which again, considering the price tag, is kind of to be expected. However, the Pro variant does go up to 4K 30. If you want 4K 60, you're going to have to get the Pro Plus variant. The design of these two phones are slightly different and you might prefer one over the other. If you're looking for a flat display, the standard Note 14 will include that compared to the curved display on the 14 Pro. And the 14 does have slightly thicker bezels, but no big deal. Both phones are 6.67 inches and both are AMOLED, and of course, both go up to 120 Hz for that super smooth swiping. However, the Pro model does have a slightly higher resolution display, but that only matters if you look really closely. Other than that, I don't think the average person is really going to notice or care for that matter. But it also supports Dolby Vision, whereas the standard 14 does not. Holding the standard Note 14 in the hand just feels a bit better than holding the 14 Pro because it kind of mimics the feel of, the Google Pixel, the iPhone, something like that. It looks like a very nice phone. It holds in the hand very well. However, the vibration motor of the Note 14, the standard Note 14, it's so bad. It is quite possibly the worst vibration motor that I have felt. In fact, let's compare it to, from the 14 to the 14 Pro, and you guys can literally hear the difference of the vibration motor. Both of these phones do include a plastic back, and to be honest, I'm okay with it. It's actually really grippy. Like I said, holding both of these phones are really comfortable, but obviously the most comfortable, in my opinion, is the standard 14. But neither of these two phones are slippery, which is something that I miss. Like all glass phones nowadays, they're just so slippery that you almost need to wear a case or else it's just gonna fly out of your hands like a stick of butter. Now, as far as performance goes, the standard Note 14 uses the Dimensity 7025 Ultra, and the Pro model uses the Dimensity 7300. To be honest, in normal day-to-day use, such as camera usage, texting, emailing, web browsing, social media, I honestly couldn't really find a difference of the two. The biggest difference you'll notice is playing games, but obviously if you're buying phones in this budget range, you're not really expecting to get, insane performance out of them, of course. But, it's pretty common sense. If you want the phone that's more powerful, you're going to have to spend more money. But I believe the people buying these phones are just normal people. They just want a phone that makes calls, texts, web browsing, social media. Both of these phones are going to do that just fine. You should not worry. Something to note though, if you do want the Snapdragon chip, you're going to have to upgrade to the Pro Plus variant. And that's where I kind of do recommend it because you're getting, a whole lot better performance for that price. And it's just going to be something that you can kind of future-proof yourself with if you decide to keep the phone for years to come. Another similarity with these two phones is actually the battery life. Both of these have just over 5,000 milliamp hours, and to my surprise, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but to my surprise, they're both lasting me just as much, which is kind of interesting because the Pro variant has a sharper resolution display, so I would have thought it would drain a little bit quicker, but they're pretty much both identical. And when it comes time to recharging, you do have a 45-watt charger included in the box with both of these phones, which is something that I do appreciate. I mean, we have phones that go over $1,500 and they don't even come with a brick in the box, So good on Redmi for doing so. All in all, if you're looking for the best phone to get in this series, I do recommend the Pro Plus because of its Snapdragon chip. However, if you don't really care about having the best of the best, you just want a good phone at a great price, the standard Note 14 5G should do the trick just fine. And if you want to spend a little bit extra for a better camera, some software goodies, and a better display, the Note 14 Pro 5G will be the one that I recommend. So what do you guys think about these two phones? Are you currently using them? Do you prefer one over the other? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, definitely click that like button. It's free for you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot. And I always truly appreciate it. And if you're new here and you like no BS tech videos, definitely subscribe. As always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.